response and emergency care. Uh, the Motor Vehicle Act has been modified recently with lot of improvements and also increasing the penalty for not following any of the traffic rules. 2018 MWTS data about road accidents indicates increasing trend in number of accidents, about 4.6 lakh accidents and 1.4 lakh fatalities, with Tamil Nadu contributing maximum number of accidents and UP the number of fatalities. And also the concern is that about 72% of the fatalities are with the mid-age group, which is the most productive phase of one's life. The vehicle users are still not very well aware of various features provided for driver assist for safe driving. In case of two-wheeler users, as per recent survey, only 30% drivers and 10% pillion drivers use helmets. Based on another survey conducted last year, only 28% drivers and 4% rear seat occupants wear seat belts. And also, many of them don't use them when doing small trips to nearby locations. When we look back our last decade, though India has considerably improved road infrastructure, the automobiles being made almost at par with Europe, improvement in awareness amongst the road users and post-accident emergency treatment services, India has not seen any improvement in the reduction in accidents and fatalities, which would mean that we need to still do a lot and maybe look for new directions to, I mean, reduce the accidents and fatalities. We are having experts from different domains to share its role in road safety. We had Dr. Ravi Shankar from JP Research, the only organization in India which is trying to analyze the accidents technically to understand what went wrong leading to the accident. He spoke about importance of data for arriving at right action plans. We are Dr. Dhirendra, road safety expert and trainer for defensive driving. He spoke about various precautions to be taken when driving in difficult conditions like night driving, hilly track, during fog and snow, etc. We had Mr. Sudarshan, Senior Deputy General Manager from Bridgestone India, Indian subsidiary of world's largest tire and rubber company. He spoke about importance of tire selection and tire maintenance for safe driving. We also had Pradeep Puttan from Autoliv Industries who explained details of how seat belts and airbags work to protect the occupants. A month back, we had Dr. Shevaram, an alumni of IIT Delhi and with specialization in transport engineering, transport design, transport infrastructure planning, and design of sustainable transport systems and road safety, talked about road routing and road designs and various signage designs. As I mentioned, 2018 MOTS data about road accidents indicates increasing trend in number of accidents and details of number of accidents, the fatalities, etc. About humans either using the vehicle, driving the vehicle, or the humans using the road space. And also there is no detailed analysis about the accidents and the reasons for the accidents. As we all know, Indian roads are generally shared by different types of users, starting with non-motorized transport users to wide range of vehicle users. We also have many stray animals like dogs, monkeys, and cattle, sheep, horses, etc. on our roads. Many a time, these animals create road blockage and result in road accidents. Some of these accidents are due to unexpected arrival of these animals on the roads and also the vehicles being driven at high speeds, not able to stop at the sight of the animal. And in some of these accidents, the animals also get killed and badly injured. The Road Traffic Act 1988 demands that if anyone hits a dog, a goat, cattle, horse, a mule, or a donkey, legally are required to report to the police station. I am not aware of any consolidated data about the number of accidents and fatalities due to accidents involving animals. I searched Google and I just could get some data about one city, that is Nagpur, which indicates about 11,900 accidents involving animal fatalities in first 9 years of the decade. If this is the number in one city, I am afraid of imagining the nationwide figures. Today, we have two very interesting speakers to talk about road safety for animals, Mr. Meet Ashar and Dr. Chirantan. Mr. Meet Ashar, Associate Manager with Emergency Response Team, PETA, the India and advisor, Maharashtra State Animal Welfare Road is a young lawyer and animal rights activities with over 10 years of demonstrated history of working in the field of animal cruelty and abuse, and is skilled in animal protection laws, police training on animal protection laws, environmental awareness and protection, volunteer training, awareness raising, curbing wildlife trade, wildlife crime, and animal rights. He is the youngest to be appointed as an honorary animal welfare officer in Maharashtra, and India has been awarded the prestigious Mumbai Mary Jaan Occasional Service Award by Rotary Club of Bombay. At PETA India, his role is managing the emergency response team, handling cases of animal cruelty and abuse from across the country. He is also a campaigner working on policy level changes and implementation thereof on campaigns relating to animal rights. Dr. Chirantan, Counselor, World Veterinary Association, Commonwealth Veterinary Association, President, Indian Veterinary Association, and Chairman, Indian Veterinary Journal. Dr. Chirantan started his veterinary career with the government of Haryana as veterinary surgeon in animal husbandry department. He also worked as a veterinary surgeon in rural and urban hospitals, providing veterinary and animal husbandry services to animals. He is working as a registrar Haryana Veterinary Council with the job of registration of veterinarians, continuous veterinary education through workshops and seminars. He is founder president of Pashu Chikitsak Parishad, State Veterinary Service Association, and now he is chairperson, founder president of Pashu Chikitsak Mahasangh, National Veterinary Service Association of India, president. Uh, His main thrust is the betterment of veterinary education standards and the introduction of veterinary practices regulations in India. His vision is increased involvement of World Veterinary Association in activities of National Veterinary Association for betterment of the fraternity. To start with, I would request Mr. Meet to give his initial remarks. Over to you, Mr. Meet.
Hello, everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. So to begin with, I would like to, start by addressing that one, if obviously this is a very obvious thing, but it's important to mention, if all of us drive a little carefully, then most of the road accidents can be avoided. However, it is not as simple as I'm trying to explain. There are multiple, reasons that can be attributed to road accidents of different animals. As all of us know, a problem of stray cattle, as it is called, is very prevalent in India. Now, let me tell all of you that per se, there are no stray cattle as such, meaning none of these cattle are stray. They are cattle which were at one point of time used by the dairy industry. Once they have become useless to the dairy industry, they have been discarded by the dairy farmers or these dairy owners on the road. And that's how they end up being called as stray cattle. But none of them were born or actually living on the road. They were for 5 to 7 years in their prime age used and exploited by these very farmers for milk or for such other kind of activity of farming. Once the cows or buffaloes or the bulls get old, they are discarded or abandoned on the road because they are of no economic value to the farmer. So these kind of activities have to be curtailed unless there is this activity, unless this illegal abandonment of animals is not regulated. These kind of accidents cannot be avoided in toto. How much ever we as individuals do will be less, because the number of cattle being abandoned on the roads is increasing day by day. Another problem is there are dairy farms or tabelas in cities. Dairy farms and tabelas have to be moved out of these cities, and they have to be in areas which are less populated or where there is less traffic, so that the cattle are not allowed to, venture out. And a lot of times it has been seen that dairy owners just leave the cattle out for grazing or to fend for themselves, and when they have to remove milk, the cattle are back in the tabela. So I'm trying to discuss this in detail, because I want to explain why I'm stating this as a problem and what are the solutions. Meaning, if we are just going to tell people that driving more carefully is the solution, no, I'm sorry, that's not. That's a very important aspect of it, but there are more things that we need to do as a society. Like I mentioned, two things just now. Another thing, when it comes to dogs or cats, um, a sterilization program or animal birth control is extremely important. If there is effective implementation of the animal birth control programs, then we will find lesser number of strays on the road, because the multiplication of their population will gradually decrease with more and more sterilizations happening. And once all the dogs and cats have been sterilized, the multiplication or the reproduction will completely stop. Dogs at times venture on highways or such other areas in search of food, and that's exactly why these kind animals, they meet with these kinds of accidents, which are at most times very fatal, where either they lose their life or they, become completely or permanently handicapped for life. So if people can, put out food for stray animals in their own locality and make sure that they are doing their bit, food and fresh drinking water, if they can put out that for animals in their area, then we can also curtail these road accidents, because it has been observed that most animals wander off from their original locality only in search of food and fresh drinking water. So, to begin with, these would be my initial remarks.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Meet. Now I request uh, Dr. Chirantan to give his opening remarks.
Uh, Honorable Mr. Rao, Mr. Meet, my president-elect, surprisingly among the list of participants,
Oh, great.
Mr. Rafael Laguns. He is president-elect of the World Veterinary Association, and I was really, you people didn't mention even in the remarks. I got a message from his side. He is under Colvet SO named. So he's a big name in our profession. World Veterinary Association is the premier association of the veterinarians. The issue for which I got an invitation yesterday only pertains to recommendations for animal safety on roads. This issue has been taken up by Indian Road Safety Campaign, and I came to know about this today only, but it is a very serious issue. We need to use this opportunity of this webinar to think how to avoid them, and basically it is two issues. One is the animals left out on the roads, domestic animals. Others are a very serious issue is the forest land. Animals in the forest, they also cause a lot of accidents, and we as human population encroach in their domain. They are not responsible for the accidents, but rather we, the human population, is responsible for causing accidents to them. So mainly what I will be discussing is how to avoid animals and avoid the minimum damage to the human population. And obviously our domain is our own animals who are mute, who have been left out by we people, like Mr. Meath said, used and then thrown on the road. Now this government, our present government, has taken many initiatives with Rashtriya Kamdhenu Ayog and things like that. And these things we will be discussing, and I find this a very pleasant surprise of the initiative by this Sol Foundation, Mr. Rao. I welcome you all to this webinar session, and for proceedings, further proceedings, and even if possible, remarks from our president will be more better.
Oh, definitely, yes. Let's initially take some questions, and after that, we will request him to give his views about the problem.
And if you, is it going to be a panel discussion or we have to speak?
No, only two of you are there. So I have some questions which I would like to ask you, because I am also new to, not fully aware of what's happening. So after that, we will take questions from the audience, if there are any. Then we can ask your president-elect to talk about, give his views. Mr. Meath, is for you. You being an animal activist,
Right.
is there any agency which has consolidated details of accidents happening in the country and how many animals get killed or injured seriously every year?
No, unfortunately, there is no such formal or proper data that has either been collaborated by any group or by any statutory body of the government. So,
Hmm.
unfortunately, no, there is no data that exists which has been formally compiled by the government or its agency.
Hmm.
This is
Actually, for
unfortunately, this is a topic which is not given due importance to by a lot of people, and it's not even something that may come to the mind of a lot of people. While all of us drive on highways and the roads, and I'm sure a lot of people would have accidentally hit or run over animals, but I don't think this is something that consciously crosses the minds of a lot of people, perhaps because this is not talked about a lot as much as it needs to be. And I would really like to thank your foundation to start up this conversation in the first place about this being a problem which needs to be addressed. And I completely agree with what Dr. Chirantan said, that it's we who are to blame and not the animals to a greater extent, because they are mute, they are not intelligent as we humans are. If they were, they would not like they would not be on the roads or highways where cars are driving. So I think we need to be more considerate. We need to be more compassionate. We need to be more careful while we drive. And also, not only that, but as citizens, we need to take up initiatives in our respective areas. For example, people living in Delhi could take up initiative of making sure that the dogs or the domestic animals in and around Delhi are completely sterilized and vaccinated by the municipal corporation. There is a budget that is allocated to every municipal corporation for sterilization of stray dogs, especially. So if we make sure that the sterilization program is effective by having some participation in it, by being involved in it, then I think to a greater extent the population of these animals can be reduced and thereby reducing the accidents that are caused. And like I said, if more and more compassionate people come forward and start offering food and water to these animals whenever they can, I'm not saying it has to be done every day, but as and when they can at their convenience, it will really help these animals to have a relatively better life, because if their stomachs are full, they won't be wandering here and there in search of food and water. So if that can be done by people, then I think that would really help animals.
Actually, yeah, I mean, this issue of animals getting killed has also other side of the thing. If you are talking about reducing the number of accidents taking place on the roads, if the vehicle hitting an animal is one of the reasons for accident, that itself is a cause for concern.
True.
The other side of the story is the animal getting killed or seriously injured, how one should take care of that. I mean, I'm sure you are aware, in India, unfortunately, most of us don't even bother to stop when there is an accident and try to help
Right.
the accident victims, even
Correct.
when the human beings are involved.
True.
So, with reference to animals getting hit or injured, I doubt anybody would even stop the vehicle to do anything to actually take care of the animal involved. So I think
Sorry to
one,
interrupt you, but
yeah,
thankfully a lot of people have been calling us.
okay,
So, as I told you that I manage the emergency response team, and as the
okay,
name suggests, my team works round the clock for animal emergencies in the country. So, we have an all India helpline number, which is 98201 22602. So, people from across the country call on this number when they see animals in distress. And very often we have been getting calls for animals which are either run over or which have been hit by vehicles either on highways or in cities or in whichever locations. So the awareness, like people are becoming aware to the pain and suffering of animals, I would say, if not anything else. And seeing the animals suffer, they are at least making the effort of making a call and trying to do something for that
yeah,
animal which is suffering. And thankfully, some states like Gujarat, like Telangana, they have started 1962, a four-digit toll-free number. It's an initiative by the state's animal husbandry department, and this 1962 number is for it's been started by a few states. Just to name a few are Gujarat and Telangana, and they help animals which are either sick or injured or which have met with accidents.
oh, I see.
So I think we need such initiatives to be followed or be implemented across all states. That's how we'll be able to tackle these cases.
Have you taken up these issues with the Central Ministry of Animal Husbandry or some other department?
I personally haven't, but a lot of other activists have. And rather, these ambulance services that I just mentioned, which have been started in Gujarat and Telangana, are an effort of activists lobbying with the government to start such kind of an initiative for animals.
Okay. Dr. Saab, you have any comments on this?
Basically, the structure of animal welfare in this country is a neglected lot. I say very bluntly that we have Animal Welfare Board of India, and that is inactive for last, I think, 1 year. And none of the NGOs except lobbying for the grant in aids are working with this animal, because they are the real persons who can pressurize the government to work.
Yeah.
Animal Welfare Board of India is one institution that is specifically catering for this job. As you precisely said that it is a threat to both human population as well as cattle population, especially on the highways. Fatal accidents happen and the life of the driver, he may be an individual, is always at peril. Animal is not coming to murder you, but we are going after him on the road. My only submission is that we should be careful, highways should be barricaded, and like ambulance services which are available on toll highways especially, we can have veterinary ambulances at a stretch of say 200 kilometers, which can be rushed, because not only the animal gets injured and needs care, he is a cause of accident for the following vehicles also. Once the main vehicle strikes at the animal's back of that vehicle, the vehicles running after that vehicle also get struck up straight away. Collisions I have seen, we need to have tips for this drivers during, because these days corruption and renewal of licenses and making of licenses being reduced by the coming times. So we need to have at least 10 tips to avoid the animals on the road, and the people going in for the license should be educated how to tackle with this problem. Like the animal never thinks and comes all of a sudden on the road. What the driver should do, we need to guide people or put some posters around on the traffic parks or things like that. Like that, we should not panic. And we should be ready on the, especially on the highways, that we may have to face such incident where animal comes all of a sudden on the road. So what we should do is, we should try to brake. Number 2, swearing of the vehicle is not an option. Swearing, as soon as the animal comes in front of you, going for swearing will cause more accident and more damage to you, as you may hit another vehicles or you may hit roadside trees, and that could prove fatal for you. So we advise that as soon as you see animal coming all of a sudden, you should slow down. And even if you hit the animal, that collision will cause less harm than your swearing. Right? You have to think of the things like if an animal is approaching from the right side of the road, steer your vehicle towards the right outer edge of the roadway, so that the animal can move across to the left side. Or even if you hit the back side. And even if the collision is imminent, although animal welfare aspect is always there, you should slow down as much as possible, brace yourself for the impact. If you hit someone, pet or stray animal, use caution while approaching a strange animal. Don't move out of your vehicle, because the animal will panic and may hit you. That is for the human population. And if the animal is a large animal and collision is going to take place, either shift your seat to backside, or if it can be lowered down, try lowering down the seat so that the impact comes on the dashboard. And normally a accident will have the least injuries to the driver. If you have made an impact with the large animal, try to control your vehicle, take it to a side if possible, stop on your flashers and wait for the animal to calm down or move out of the range. After the impact, try to control the police control room, because the animal has to be removed from the road. Number one. Number two, if the animal has died, carcass disposal has to be there. So this road safety aspect of animal safety has to be taught, educated to the drivers. But my only humble submission as a recommendation we can have of this IRCST, this campaign, is that we must have veterinary ambulances as animal welfare aspect at least. The charges already, the people are made to pay the charges for the toll services. And most of the highways are maintained by the toll authorities, and it will not be a big issue if veterinary ambulances can be stationed on the highways, and services both to the animals can be provided.
Dr. Saab, thank you. I think what you mentioned applies to even human beings driving another vehicle and coming and hitting. So, whatever tips you have given are very correct. And if we are all able to follow what you said, I think we can really avoid any accident on the road. Why only with animals? Unfortunately, we all drive and not really have peace of mind or mental peace to uh, really use our senses to control the vehicle when it is required to slow down to avoid a accident. And that is the issue. Having said this, I just wanted to understand from both of you, is this problem unique to India, or there are many other countries where this problem is there?
It is not unique. Here we don't have documentation basically,
Okay.
especially regarding animals. It is a problem everywhere, but in the developed countries, you find highways barricaded.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's what I was coming to.
That was the reason. Ours, we are barricading some of the stretches.
Yes.
But mostly this aspect has never been taken care of. Even in our state NH1, the best maintained highway is going. But still we find accidents on NH1, and this issue of carcass disposal of the highways, it is a much bigger issue. Because once an animal has been hit and died, why do at least have not found any mechanism across on the highways for lifting those animals and their carcass disposal?
Yeah.
Then the animals which Meet pointed out, dairy animals which are left over, and they are mostly, this crossbreds are Austrian Friesian black in color. Most of in the evenings, we find many accidents due to the color. So we need either their collar branding with some radium collars, or things like that, because you can't provide lights everywhere. So such issues have to be taken up very seriously by the municipal authorities.
Mr. Meet, do you have any comments on this?
Yeah. So also, apart, I completely agree that barricading is a very important aspect, and it's very important to ensure that, the stray animals don't cross over from both sides of the highway and come onto the highway, which causes accidents. More importantly, in countries, abroad, most developed countries do not have stray animals at all, because dog they have effective, and it's not that they didn't have stray animals to begin with. They did have stray dogs and cats, most of which by now have been, sterilized and vaccinated. People there believe more in adoption of animals than buying them from pet shops. So all these things contribute in a major way. Meaning, you might think these are indirect factors, but they do influence, the final
Yeah.
outcome in a very big way. Because, people want fancy breeds of dogs and cats. Nobody wants to adopt Indian desi animals which are living on the road, in spite of the fact that both of them will give the same love, both of them are same. It's just that the looks are different. So abroad, people are more aware. They are more compassionate. The organizations there, obviously, organizations here also are doing, big time awareness when it comes to adopt, don't shop. But yes, these are contributing factors. That one sterilization program was very effective abroad. So now they have zero stray animal population. Animals, these stray animals which were rescued by organizations have been adopted by people, so they don't go back on the road. What happens in India is, once an animal is rescued, if it is injured and if it is perfectly fine, once it gets well, the animal is released back on the in the
The
same
road.
spot where he or she has been picked up from. Yeah, because there is no facility to home them. They cannot be put in cages for life and be kept in, dog shelters or cat shelters, etc. They have to be adopted in homes where, people can responsibly look after them. So these are all contributing factors which I feel are very important, and at the end, impact these kind of incidents from taking place. So I can't stress enough on the importance of sterilization of, community animals, especially dogs and cats. They really need to be sterilized, so there is a reduction in their population, and, thereby reducing these accidents. And very important point that Dr. Chirantan mentioned is also about putting radium collars. A lot of activists across the country have started this initiative, including there's this initiative in Bombay also that's happening, where radium collars are being put on, reflective collars is what we call them. So reflective collars are being put on dogs, cats, cows, bulls, horses, which are being, found roaming on the road. So at least with the, headlight falling upon the animal, the reflective collar will reflect it back to the driver, indicating that the animal is on the road. So these are a few things that,
Yeah.
we must do. And somewhere, not somewhere, but actually majorly, municipal corporation and local bodies, local, government bodies, their role is very important. There is very little that organizations can do because they have limitations as to resources, funding, etc. Whereas municipal corporations have more resources to their disposal.
Hey, you have touched the subject of government. So my question is, you think the government, the related ministries, they are not aware of the problem, or they are not able to find a solution for the problem, or they are indifferent to the problem?
I think there is lack of willingness to address this problem, because animals are not a vote bank, and they, unfortunately, that's what most, government officials or ministries feel, that there's not much of a difference whether you do something for animals or not. I'll just give you a very small example to make you understand why. So we have a Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act, okay, which is
Yeah.
the only and the basic legislation to protect animals from cruelty and abuse in our country. This legislation was enacted by the parliament in the year 1960. You will be shocked to know that it's been over 60 years and there has been no amendment. There has been no change in this law that has taken place over a period of 60 years. The fine under this law for abusing an animal is only rupees 50. And you can imagine the kind of indifference or the lack of political will that exists in the government if they have not bothered to change the law. And we all know how prevalent cases of animal abuse are these days. We are seeing animal abuse cases left, right, center across the country. Now news channels, even newspapers have started reporting about it because people are becoming more and more sensitive.
Yeah,
And yet it does not ring alarm bells for the government that, this is deplorable, to say the least, that the fine under the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act is only rupees 50. But the point that I'm trying to make is that there is lack of political will. These things need political will, without which, as much as advocacy, as much as lobbying that you do, unless there is a political will to do this, we cannot see this change happening. And the political will come only when more and more people start talking about it, apart from animal activists. Because otherwise, the message that goes to the government is, oh, these are animal activists. They always keep talking about animals and they always want things done for animals. So unless it's the common people, the common man, other organizations who start voicing their concern about this, I don't think it's going to make any difference to the government.
yeah. So, my question to both of you is, as road users, what are we, I mean, how we can uh, avoid these accidents with animals? That's one. Second thing is, as citizens of the country, what we should do to bring in better awareness to all the road users and also the government agencies concerned, like what you mentioned, so that there is a clear action plan to reduce entry of animals onto roads, like what is there in developed countries, what you mentioned.
Right.
And also, we have, I mean, as a result, we are able to have safer roads. Yeah. Mit-
Yeah. So to
Sorry.
begin with, what I would say is what I mentioned in the beginning, which is we must drive carefully. We must be alert while we are driving. I think a lot of accidents happen because we are not alert. There is something going on in our subconscious mind, which, diverts or which takes away our attention. And that is what is seen to have, caused a lot of accidents. But more importantly, if you accidentally happen to hit an animal, or if even you see an animal which has been hit by someone or run over by someone, and if the animal is alive, please make sure you call an animal helpline to seek veterinary care for that animal. And please stay with the animal until help arrives, because if you don't, no one else will. There are hundreds of other cars which are going and none of them have bothered. So even if it has clicked your mind, please stop, take out that 10-15 minutes of your time and make sure that you wait at the spot till help reaches the animal. And please call either local groups, or if you don't know which local NGOs work in the area that you are in, you can please call PETA's helpline number, which is 98201 22602, and our team will do the best they can to provide necessary assistance for the animal which is suffering or injured.
Aksab?
My submission is that we need to be very much inquisitive what actually is. Now we have multifarious agencies working for the stray cattle management. Municipal authorities in urban areas, panchayats in local areas, then animal husbandry people. We need to have an integrated agency basically for stray cattle management, which is may we call it a major cause of nuisance for the farmers. You people will be surprised that even the farmers have gone for electric wiring of their
Yeah, that's right.
agriculture land, which is causing a lot of deaths of the animals because animal requires very low voltage of current. The farmers of the country, they are fed up with it. So an integrated approach, either it is to be under animal husbandry, multiple stakeholders are not giving the required results. The old concept of cattle pounds, we used to have 20 years, 30 years back cattle pounds where animals used to be put inside and the owners used to be fined. That system has to come back. Gaushalas need to be strengthened, and the latest that the issue that some of the agencies have taken over is use of cow dung, cow urine, making the animal utility item so that animal can survive in the gaushalas. That is going to be the major issue with the domestic animals. Wild animals, forests, that's a separate issue that requires more deliberations, because wild animals, specifically if you hit them or antagonize them, only because I have been to some of the forest reserves, is sit solid in your seat and don't move out. Even if you hit the animals, specifically the carnivores, they are very aggressive. So beware while driving in the forest lands. That's what my submission is. I think you are looking at the time also.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Any questions from any audience? If there are no questions from audience, then I would request Dr. Saab to request your president-elect to give his views on the subject.
You unmute him. He is under Colvet SO.
Colvet SO. Yeah, he is unmuted. Yes. Welcome, sir. We would like to have your views about this topic of safety on roads for animals. And as you may be aware, this IRSC is an organization working towards reduction of accidents and fatalities on roads, and also working towards safer roads for everybody. So this is a new topic we have taken up this week, and we'd like to hear your comments about what has been discussed till now and your suggestions for improving the situation.
Thank you very much. First, I want to thank you, Mr. Chairman, and all the people attending the seminar. It's a great pleasure for me to share with you your seminar. I learned a lot. In fact, this is a very important issue that is, of course, veterinarians, we are committed with animal welfare. And this is an important topic for animal welfare, but not only for animal welfare, for welfare of humans also, because car accidents, in any case, doesn't matter what is the cause, can cause deaths and injuries in the people. That means it's a complex problem that have these two sides that are very important. And of course, I want to thank you, Mr. Mead, I agree with many of the comments you did. In some countries, it's a neglected problem, I agree. And there is not many will of the politicians to take care of that. But I think the society in general must to ask their politicians to do this issue. And I think all over the world, the younger generations are more sensitized, more sensitive with animal welfare, of any problem with that. I assume that in India is for sure the same. Young generations are demanding more animal welfare in general. But it's a multi-aspect problem related with education, related with legislation, as you mentioned, related with professionalism. I think it's very important also, as Mr. Mead mentioned, the control of animals, domestic animals. the countries that have less problem is the countries that don't have stray dogs. For this, you need the sterilization and also identification and registration of the animals. It's important to raise public awareness, sensitize the problem about this issue, and of course, taking in consideration the financial consequences of the accidents, but also the financial consequences we need to solve the problem. In some countries, more developed countries, the highways are close in one side to other, because of course there is two aspects for accidents by animals. One is domestic animals, another wild animals. Of course, if you are in a region with a lot of forest, it's very usual to have car accidents caused by crossing wild animals. But one comment that I heard from Mr. Mead is the abandon of cattle. That surprised me. And of course, that needs some legal, some law to avoid that, no? Because I was surprised with this comment. And finally, again, I want to thank Dr. Chirantan for inviting me and for being here. It's been very interesting. And of course, I think government, other stakeholders, NGOs, as PETA and others, and veterinary organizations, we need to work together to find solutions depending in each country. And of course, WVA, World Veterinary Association, we have many countries involved in that. Some countries are more developed, others less developed. And I think it's very important, together with the Indian Veterinary Association, exchange information to try to help to find solutions and also to learn from you which are your solutions to be used in other countries. Simply, again, I am very happy to be with us. Thank you very much. And WVA, through Indian Veterinary Association, is at your command, at your service. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Mr. Colvett. Based on the discussion, I pick up 3 action points. One, lack of data about the accidents with animals, etc. So maybe IRSC should talk to MORTH and represent to them, saying that they are now actually getting data about accidents and over the years. So they should make it compulsory to have the mention of any involvement of any animal in these accidents. I'm sure some of the accidents would have been caused by animals, or they would have hit the animal, and even if the human being is okay, the animal would have died. We don't know. So it should be made compulsory in the FIRs and data collecting agencies to indicate if there is any stray animals involvement in the accident as well. Second thing, I think we need to represent to the Ministry of Animal Husbandry to take up the issues which Mr. Meet has so clearly mentioned, and see how they can be activated to take action. Though there are some laws about reporting of accidents, etc. And as he mentioned, the Animal Husbandry Act, which was done in 1960, has not been amended till now to update. So we need to interact with them to actually trigger some action. And thirdly, maybe the driving school should also include a special mention about how a driver should respond in case of encountering a stray animal on the road. And the last, whether the possibility of fencing the main roads, that is at least national highways in India, which to my mind looks very difficult, should also needs to be studied by the government. Last, like all responsible road users and citizens of the country, we need to be more sympathetic and do whatever is required to be done when we see a animal involved in an accident lying by roadside or so, to call the veterinary ambulances to take necessary action for revival of the animal involved, or even for removing the carcass from the road. Uh, we now come to the close of the webinar. So I would like to have last word from me, Mr. Meet and Dr. Saab.
Basically, the last word is compassion to the animal. As the animal is the worst hit, the human can get a care, but we must also think of getting care for the injured animals.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Meet.
Yeah, just what I said during the webinar, that whenever people encounter animals that are injured or they are sick, please report them to your nearest animal welfare organization so that veterinary assistance can be provided for these animals. Because if you do not, seek help for them, maybe no one else will, and the animal will keep suffering. And to respond to what Mr. Colwett said, that yes, it's very unfortunate and it's very shocking that stray cattle, how cattle land up on the roads in India and they are termed as stray cattle. They are abandoned after they become useless for the dairy industry. And unfortunately, there is no law that penalizes or that prohibits these dairy owners from abandoning these cattle, because it's a very sensitive issue here, where it can get very complicated. But we need to think in the larger interest of animals and in the interest of the society, and come up with solutions, because just building goshalas or cow shelters day by day is not going to help, because the dairy industry only is pumping in more and more cows and bulls for production of milk. And with the increase in the number of cows and bulls that are being brought into the dairy industry, the demand for creating cow shelters is just going to become endless. And we don't have so much of land in India where we can keep on building cow shelters. And that's not actually a foolproof solution. Meaning, yes, it's a part of the solution, but there has to be some kind of action or some kind of deterrent set for people to stop them from abandoning these cattle, because these are the very cattle who have given them livelihood for 5 to 7 years. And just because now they are not of the same economic value what they were 5 7 years ago, they are being abandoned. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Meet. There is one comment by Dr. M.K. Srikanth saying that we should work towards registration of all animals and pets so that there is a
So
overall.
just to respond to that, registration of pet dogs is mandatory
Yeah, I
in
know.
most
Pet dogs
cities
is.
through municipal corporations. Tagging of cattle is very important, so the owners can be traced and penal action can be taken against them. That's definitely something that municipal corporations should work on. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Meet and Dr. Saab. And also thanks to Mr. Colvett for his very interesting, valuable comments.
He is Mr. Rafael Lagunes,
Huh?
not Colvett. His
Oh,
name
yes,
is
so
Dr.
sorry.
Rafael
Rafael, I'm sorry.
Lagunes.
He shows as Colvett. What is that?
No, he should be named.
Great pleasure. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Over to you, Ekta.
Excuse me?
Ekta, are you there?
Now you can finish off.
Yeah, thank you all for
Thank you.
participation in this webinar.
Thank you,
We'll
everybody.
come back with
Most
another interesting subject for this webinar series very soon. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.